Welcome back to Q Dads, guys. It's me, Ben, and yes, I am here today with a great theory just for you, and that is one that we are in a continuous time loop. Now, you might be asking yourself, what do you mean? Well, we've actually been in a continuous time loop throughout the whole of the series, right from the offset in episode 1, the intro, and even until the latest episode of season 3, episode 3. Now, we have seen continual hints towards things repeating themselves, like we're caught in some kind of time loop. But there is one thing that has broken this loop, and I'm going to explain that theory for you right now. So of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as it really does help us to grow and shows us that you want us to keep bringing you our crazy, wild and sometimes correct theories. So if you cast your mind back to the very first thing, which is that old lady in episode 1 who tore apart that little girl in the very first episode. Now she said something along the lines of, "Do you not recognise me?" or "Do you not remember me?" Which at the time you think that is because she was pretending to be the little girl's grandma. But yet, is this because she had already been through this cycle? Not necessarily with this little girl, but with another. And again, repeating that same cycle, which is why she recognises the little girl, which means she's always destined to kill her. And then there's more evidence that of course backs this up. So let's take a look at the intro and the song Que Sera Sera, which is about us not being able to control the future, as a mother tells her child, and then that child grows up and tells her family and the same thing, who then in turn tells their family the same thing. And that's what that song is about, repeating the same message over and over, and that things can't be changed. Just like the series of From, that we are repeating these same messages. Now, moving on to more recent times to back up this theory, let's take a look at some of the two biggest contenders for me that fit nicely into this theory. So the first being Jade. Now, Jade has visions of this symbol as he hunts for them, just like Christopher did. But if you look at the people that he's seeing, a Civil War soldier with one eye, and then in the latest episode, the guy drinking from the skull, again with one eye. Now for me, this is almost either one of two things. Predicting the history of the people who are in the position doing the exact same thing as him, or a premonition for Jade's future. Is Jade going to lose an eye in this series, and is that how he dies? There was a hint towards it in a promo for episode 3 with an image that's circling around, which does show damage to his eye. Of course, we don't know if that is real, but are these visions hinting at his death? And did Christopher lose an eye as well? I mean, I don't recall seeing him with one missing, but we don't actually know much about the history at this moment. And of course, we have the same thing with Tabby and Miranda. They're going through that same cycle of mothers who are trying to save the children. Now, we did see the dates in the lighthouse ever so briefly in one of the episodes, and this reflects the ongoing cycles that we've been stuck on repeat for so long. And yeah, you could throw it down to essentially reincarnations, where some people are suggesting that Tabitha is a reincarnation of Miranda. Or you could just say that it's their lives and they're all connected by time and fate itself. So they're always destined to go down this route, similar to the series of Lost, and that their destiny controlled their lives. And yes, you probably are thinking, but there's a lot of things that don't quite make sense with the time loop theory. For example, Fatima and her baby. Now, we've not seen that before, or have we? We just haven't got to that point yet. There could be a chance that people like Fatima, Tilly and Elgin are all involved in some way, and they're going down a different route that we've not yet explored. And that is because of the one thing I mentioned at the start about the time loop being broken and that cycle being ended. And that is because of Boyd. Now yes, how has he broken the cycle, I hear you ask, shouting at your screens? Well, if you look back to when he was having those flashbacks of his wife, Abby, who went on this killing spree in the town. Now, think about the last time we saw a killing spree, which was with Victor when he was a child, and everyone in that town was massacred. Now, we assume this was because of the monsters, but what if it was because someone had done something similar to Abby? and killed all the residents of the town, and the monsters just had the free pickings of their bodies during the night. So in that scene where she's shooting everyone, what if she was meant to kill Boyd? But by breaking the cycle, Boyd killed her instead, which broke that series of events and put us into what we see today. This could also explain why things like Fatima and Elgin and the buzzload of people are happening, because Boyd broke that cycle, and everything that happens after that moment is now brand new, because Boyd was never meant to be alive, which is again why the monsters are so interested in him. And all you have to do is sit back and think, okay, there's been multiple massacres, there's been multiple mothers, there's been multiple people chasing the symbol. We are stuck on a time loop like the song Que Sera, Sera. Now, am I overstretching myself, or am I onto something? And are we going to be watching the episodes a little bit differently now, trying to work out things that we've seen before? Now, of course, Steve did want me to mention that the only part that seems to go against this theory is the fact that the monsters all look like they're from the 1950s. Now, surely they would have been refreshed by now, or taken on new clothes. Although, maybe we're looking at it wrong, and there is always someone like Boyd, and actually Victor is the anomaly. As the last massacre, he survived. Would the monsters have refreshed if Victor had died? Either way, there are too many similarities between Miranda and Tabitha for it just to be a coincidence. And clearly, Miranda has said that others have tried to free children too. So clearly there is some kind of cycle, but is it one of reincarnation? So again, like I've already said, are we clutching at straws, or is there something else here? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And also, hit us up with your theories, because as the season goes on, Steve and I will be looking at the comments for our videos, and we will be discussing some of your theories, see how viable they are, and see if we can flesh them out a bit and add a little bit more depth to them. So of course, again, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching as always, and of course we will be having something coming your way in regards to Silo pretty soon. So, until then, I'll catch you next time with something new.